I'm live and in living color. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another review from the Wrestling Pit podcast. This time coming from NXT Halloween Havoc 2024. This was a good Halloween Havoc. This was a good pay-per-view. Had some good matches. To the Halloween Havoc name, which, as it should, live up to the Halloween Havoc name. Um, Pretty good, interesting matches. Some setups for this coming Tuesday or tomorrow's NXT. But you're here for the review, so let's jump into it. Um, well, hold on. If we getting joined by Khris. Okay, yeah, we are. But until he gets himself ready, if he is ready, we'll start off with the first match that they did, which is the ruler of NXT, Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo in a the North American Championship ladder TLC match. I was about to say ladder, but it was a TLC match. Uh, but it was interesting because the TLC match, I guess they write it as, Tony D'Angelo requested that instead of having the belt hanging over the ring, they was going to have it as like a pinfall match because he wanted to guess prove something to Obafemi about with pinning him. And I was like, so why not just have a hardcore match? Because how can you have a TLC match and not be a TLC match? That was like my only problem with this was we had a TLC match that wasn't a TLC match, but was still being basically touted as a TLC match. I'm like, you can't have a TLC match without the most important part, which is climbing the ladder and taking the belt. If that was the case, y'all should have just booked it as a hardcore match. But I don't know. That was a weird aesthetic choice in my opinion to have it as uh have it as a TLC match and not be the TLC match. I mean, it was a TLC match. It was a TLC match in every other way except for the fact that you could force to climb the ladder to get the belt. Instead, it was just a pinfall match, and it was just like, no. That's not how a TLC match works. Like that, I was excited for this match up until that point. Up until when I found out they was gonna do it as a pinfall finish instead of a climb the ladder and get the belt finish. Okay. So my boy Khris said he's ready. Uh, Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out where do you go. He was just in here, guys, and then he did. But anyway, so that was my biggest thing about this match was that it was weird. It was odd, like having it as a TLC match, but then it not be a TLC match. I know they I know they said, oh, it's tables, ladders, and scares, but it was. I get it. Halloween Havoc and all that type of stuff. Okay, Khris said he's coming back. Okay. Well, anywho, but just the fact that it was a TLC match was kind of taking me out. But the match was good though. Other than that, the match was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching Obafemi do his thing and be the ruler of NXT. And I do like that, unlike everybody else. Hold on, we got a comment. I was at that show. Oh, okay. That's okay. It looked like it was fun, like just to be there from the crowd standpoint, and that Bubba Ray Dudley was there, and not just on the pre-show, but he was there like in the crowd with everybody else. So that was pretty good. That I do like that. But that was good. Yeah, you got to be at the show. I was there just to see Bubba Ray Dudley. He's one of the old school wrestlers I always wanted to see in person. Khris, my man, you muted.
Oh, there we go. All right. I'm so used to muting it. But anyways, I am here, of course. Um I was hearing you were talking about the first match. I actually missed that first match. I wasn't, because I thought the pay-per-view came on at 8 o'clock and not 7 o'clock. So I was like, oh shoot, I was like, shoot, I missed the first match. So I was getting texts like that was a great opener and stuff like that. I was like, well, dang, I guess I didn't see it. So so the thing is, Obed Femi, he put on a good match, but they had the family advantage, come in from what I've, seen
Oh yeah,
highlights and stuff
and I
like
was
that.
still in the I was still in the middle of explaining it too. I
Oh,
wasn't even
okay.
I wasn't even
Oh,
finished.
good.
But I had stopped to answer this guy's question, this guy's text, but he was saying, yeah, I was pretty close to him. I got to shake his hand. Oh, I might have seen you on TV then, because the camera was right there in the crowd where he was at. So if you was one of the people that was standing where he was at in the crowd, I got to see you on TV. You was next to Bubba Ray and that Dave guy, which is cool because that Dave got they using people from YouTube on the show, so that's kind of cool too. But then again, he was also with. I also know why they used him too. 'Cause he was with Bubba Dudley, and they what's that? Busted Open Radio,
Mm-hmm.
Busted Open
Podcast.
Podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool too that they using those type of people, and that was cool. That was having him there, then Rich Holland. But we'll get to that in a minute. Um, but no, yeah, the Open Femi match was good. I was basically saying how I just got done talking basically how I didn't like the fact that it was a TLC match, but it wasn't a TLC match because it didn't have the TLC finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like at the end of the day, without the finish of you climbing that ladder and grabbing the title, it's not a TLC match. It's pretty much a hardcore match at that point. And then
Right.
and I'm like that if that was the case, because they said in story he was saying that oh, I wanted to pin Oba, I want to pin Oba to prove a point or whatever. So I'm like, well, therefore have a hardcore match. Why did you book it as a TLC match and pretty much gave us a hardcore match? It was weird. But the match itself was fine though. Outside of that, the match itself was fine. It was a good opener. Um, they went back and forth. They destroyed each other pretty much. I mean, when Obafemi like basically shoulder tackled Tony D'Angelo into that table, and they obliterated that table. And not only did it split in half, they knocked it into pieces. So I was just like, oh my god. Uh, I did to Chris's point where the Tony's family came in and they helped him. They distracted him. That which helped him get. At that point, I think he had zip tied Tony to the ring, but he had got himself out because he was getting ready to hurt the. I forgot what they called that girl. That's a part what her name was, but he would look like he was getting ready to attack her, but then you realize, oh, this was just a setup for Tony D'Angelo to put him through that ladder and stuff like that, which looked like that was a hard fall. Looked like, and Tony looked like he hit his wrist on the ladder. And I was just like, oh man, that looked like that hurt bad because you saw him holding it after a while. I'm like, yeah, because it looked like you took a nasty spill on your wrist. But other than that, match was cool with Tony D'Angelo, thanks to his family, getting the victory over a game over Femi. Which brings me to what's probably next for Obafemi. I said, well, there's a vacant spot, but then again, it looked like they inserting somebody else in that spot now to be for Trick Williams NXT Championship. But we'll get to all that in a minute. But I feel like that's what Obafemi would go to now is the NXT Championship picture. But now, Khris, give me your thoughts and your opinions. What you were saying before about that match. You muted again.
So I thought the match was like actually from what I seen with highlights, it was actually pretty cool. I didn't see like from start to finish, but bits and pieces. It looked pretty cool. I would have to say at least one of probably the best matches of the night, even though it didn't live up to like a table ladder and chairs match. And I kind of wish, well, I think we will get like a table ladder and chairs match when it comes down to NXT 2300, which is next Tuesday. So
Mm.
we'll get to that later on in the show. But as far as Obafemi, I was just reading something, a little big man here. It says, Obafemi is like a rising star. He's pretty much the longest reigning North American champion. Finn has been buzzing about possibly Obafemi debuting on Monday Night Raw, with the reports suggesting that the powerhouse may have said his goodbyes to the NXT roster. Mark of PWN fueled the speculation on Twitter. Rumors are circulating that Obafemi said his goodbyes to last night's WWE NXT Halloween Havoc, in the belief that he may be raw bound as early as tonight.
I hope that don't happen.
I
Not
know it's a
I, don't
it's
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Femi deserves to be on the main roster. He has that charisma and aura of
I
the
would say
main
give him one
roster.
more. I was gonna say give him one more year.
Yeah, but I was gonna. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He needs one more year at least to be on
Yeah.
the main roster because, like, my God, I mean, this would be so soon. The only thing he's done of significance was go from the breakout tournament to being the NXT champion, the NXT North America champion. Had a dominant run with that, and then he just lost it to Tony D'Angelo.
But you
So
know
it's
what
like
though?
I feel like you should at least give him one run with the NXT championship, then bring him over. But he need at least
But
another some more
but
storylines and another run with the NXT
but
before he
I
jumps
don't.
to the roster.
But I definitely feel like they don't. They had Trick Williams to retain his championship because they don't want to lose the hype. As far that's the only person you can get hype up over there at NXT. As far as like the men's division, that's the only guy that's
Oh, thank you, thank you. We are the
that
goats.
that that is the only guy that's the crowd can like really get behind and get loud and everything with is Trick Williams. Because we had Joe Hendry for a while, they was loud behind him, but there's nobody else on NXT that can live up to the potential how they are doing with Trick. So of course Trick had to retain that title, had to retain that title. But I think once Trick does lose it, which I give him a couple of more months with the title, and then they may end up moving him maybe to Monday Night Raw.
Or SmackDown. I think Trick Williams would be better on SmackDown than Raw. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if anything, if you're gonna bring somebody up to the main roster, why not just why not have Roxanne Perez lose the title so she could come to the main roster? Because she been main roster ready.
So I
She,
think she's actually gonna. I feel like she's gonna lose the title more than likely to Stephanie Valkyr. That's what I believe, but we'll get to that when we get to that match. Because I would have thought that match would have been like co-main event or something like that, but it wasn't. So
yeah, that I mean, I was just throwing the name out there. Like, if
yeah, yeah.
instead of just bringing somebody like because of the report saying that that he might be coming to Monday Night Raw tonight. Um, I'm like, well, if you was gonna bring some people to the main roster, you had people that was main roster ready, like Gigi Dolan, who we seen, who was like basically like the host of Halloween Havoc. You got JC Jane who could come to the main roster. You got Roxanne. You got so many. You got Tony D'Angelo for one. He's more main roster ready than Obafemi, but it's so many people that you could choose from, and Trick Williams is almost there because he pretty much once he's a two-time NXT champion. So I pretty much say sometime in the middle of this year he'll be ready. But I just don't see Obafemi being ready. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If they do bring him up to the main roster, okay, maybe you can make it work. But I just think it's too soon, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
because I'm still trying to figure out what's gonna happen on Monday Night Raw as far as like who's gonna be the next challenger for Braun Breaker though. Is my biggest thing.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so much going on right now on the main roster. I just don't want to get. I don't want him to get lost in the shuffle just for him to be on the main roster. You know,
Yeah, I
I
mean
I
they
think
clear.
that's
I mean
possible.
they're clearing some stuff up now, which I hope Triple H clears up as far as like this Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan thingy right there. I think that's gonna be one opportunity to to open up something different. I can say, but then again, on as far as the Raw side, and then you got Kofi and that Xavier. Um, they got their thing. They got their little moment they can have on Raw. Um, and what else we got on Raw? I guess the tag team little tournament thing. I think that's pretty much all you got on Raw for right now, as far as like boosting up wise.
Yeah,
You
as
pretty
of
only
right
got like
now, it's
me
just
three
like
major.
the is. Well, you can't even say Gunther because he's tied up in this whole Carl
Yeah,
Gable stuff.
yeah. That
So
that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't count him in. So I was like, nah.
yeah, but so yeah, it was just this Judgment Day with the tag team title stuff and
Real
uh
and Live, they're
the
definitely about to
real
wrap.
live,
They about to
the
wrap. They about to
real
wrap that up.
live.
Probably Survivor Series. I'll say they'll wrap that up.
Yeah, and I think like I'm pretty sure that Liv is not even going to defend her title against Rhea anymore, at least for the time being. Because from what we heard coming up to this point, her next match will be against Raquel, because Raquel is basically in her way to getting to Liv. So it's that's why I feel like, and then they also thrown in the idea that Rhea could face Dominic Mysterio. So it's so much that's going on with that, you
Okay.
know. But so anyway, after the match, we got Lexis King. He was talking with Ava about his upcoming match for the Heritage Cup on Tuesday, and that he needs
Right,
somebody. He couldn't find somebody to be in his corner, and that's what we got. William Regal offering to be in his corner. Say that
Mr. Regal.
he, Mr. Regal,
I was like,
not
what?
basically saying that he appreciate that Lexus is trying to be his own man and want to do things his own way, so that he'll be in his corner. And then we got Kalani. We got a little video package showing what Kalani and Jordan's match is going to be for the North American Championship, which was revealed to be a gauntlet match between
Hmm.
all three members of Fatal Influence.
Oh, I was
And
about to say attraction, but I
yeah,
forgot
Fatal, I
that
was
was
about
the
to say
old group.
attraction too. That's Toxic Attraction. I was about to say Toxic Attraction, but I forgot. That's a whole different group.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Fatal Influence. She will be having a gauntlet match for her women's North America Championship. And then we get to the second match, which is Cora J and Roxanne Perez versus Stephanie Van Kier and Julia. I was about to say
Julia.
Julia.
Goodness.
Um, this was a good tag team match. I liked it. I was impressed with Stephanie. Stephanie, like Shawn Michaels' women's division is on fire. Like I'm just like they need to do a whole 360 switch, because this is what we getting on the main roster is what we would think NXT would be, but it's opposite.
Exactly.
NXT is the on fire. Like all of the, I say the women's division, but every division is on fire in NXT, and on the main roster is instead of every division being on fire, it's just certain stars and storylines that's on fire. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
we need to
it's like
switch this all the way around, because it's like
it's
something's
like
wrong here.
like it is weird, man. Like when you actually see it, and you would never thought Shawn Michaels would have brought in that much talent, and you never thought like matches would have went how they went and everything. because a lot of stars that get caught up to the main roster, like when Braun Breaker got caught up to the main roster, when I think him and Corbin was, I think Corbin was coming back to SmackDown and Breaker, I think he was going to Raw or something like that. You can tell the emotion behind Braun Breaker because he missed what he had, in NXT. He was able to do anything, everything. He was able to just go all out versus like the main roster. He's set at a time where he's only limited to wrestle maybe 10 minutes versus like
Right.
NXT, he may wrestle like 15, 20, sometimes 25 minutes, and
Yeah,
he's
they get to put
happy
on a
with
match.
it. Yeah.
They get to put on an actual decent match. So I would miss it too. But yeah,
Yeah.
this wasn't a bad tag team. I enjoyed it. I like how Stephanie looked coming out the gate. She was taking it to Cora J. I'm impressed with Cora. She coming back from injury. She didn't look half bad either. She not, especially to having some little ring rust from being out injured. She didn't look little. She didn't look rusty to me. She looked like she was game and ready. And so I'm
Oh
happy
yeah,
the
for
future is
sure.
bright for her. But the match was good. Yeah, it went back and forth. Some good women's tag team action. Roxanne and Cora was absolutely great as a tag team. So was Stephanie and Gulia. Um, it was I enjoyed it. I don't have I can't find nothing bad to say about it, but it was it was just a good back and forth tag team. I did like some of the spots they did, like with Stephanie, that like her Karana, that tag team like special move that Cora J and Roxanne did on Gulia. But I did like the hot tag and basically the end finish where Stephanie and Gulia would get the victory over them. And
That was fire.
I think Stephanie pinned Roxanne too. I think that was
Yeah,
Roxanne who took the pin.
yeah, it was Roxanne. Yeah, it was Roxanne that took the pin from her. So Julia ends up doing some kind of move. I can't remember what she actually did. And
I
then
can't remember either.
but she wasn't the legal person. And I guess she thought she was the legal person, but she wasn't a legal person. So Stephanie Valcour ended up hitting like a moonsault corkscrew like thing. And when she thought she was finna miss it, she made sure when she landed down, she grabbed Roxanne and landed right on her after she was coming down. And I was like, oh,
Mm.
that's cool. Cause she almost went over her. So she grabbed herself as like if you will rewatch it again, you can see how it's like
Yeah, I
where
probably had
she
to go. I had to go back and look. 'Cause it did. I think I know what you're talking about. 'Cause it did like she overshot it just a little bit, but she was able to
yeah,
correct it in
yeah,
mid
cause she
air. But it
grabbed
looked like
her
if
and
she
went for
didn't,
the pin.
right? Because it looked like if she didn't, she would have overshot it.
Oh yeah. Kind of like Jacob Fatu, he came on NXT and hit that moonsault.
Oh yeah.
He hit that moonsault. He went over. I was like, whoa. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I think you put a little bit too much bounce on that. But
Hmm.
no, yeah, that was a good match between the two with Stephanie and them getting the victory. And like I said, I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Back and forth tag team matching. I got a good chance to see Stephanie. We did get the lights cut off on them, and then we got to see Zara or Delta up in the crowd.
I'm still gonna call it Delta. I don't care.
But we would get more of her later. Confidence say, I hope that wasn't like what they was teasing, just her just sitting up in the crowd. But then once you get to the later, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because I'm
Cause
like, that,
they still made me mad on NXT this past Tuesday. Uh Thanks to the CW channel. Thanks for y'all cutting it off at the end.
oh yeah. They said, hey, 10 o'clock on the dot, and you ain't do what you gotta do by 10 o'clock. Gotta get up through. We got other programs to run. But yeah, so what did you think about that tag team match?
I thought I think that the match was actually pretty cool and everything. I would have to say the least. Um, I mean, it was like it was a great match, especially Cora. She was being very careful throughout throughout her match, and Vic Joseph, yes. He pointed out, he was like, oh, she's doing great coming back from injury, and she had to think about it when she jumped off the top rope. You remember what happened to her leg? So it was
Oh
like,
yeah, that little hesitation when she was going off the top rope. She thought about how she gotta come off of it. I'm like, yeah, that's that little because she ain't not trying to go back on the cell again.
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, because this will be that was your second time on the cell, and
and it
now
and it and
and
then
after that
another,
second time they got to give her a brace now.
yeah, and then like the next thing was like another part I seen in the match was Roxanne went up to the rope and hit the high knee like CM Punk did.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
a,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was another moment too. I was like, oh, I would have expected that from Cora Jade, but it was at it was at Sir Roxanne. So I was like, okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, cause
Uh
I think Cora J is more of a was more of the CM Punk fan because when she was a kid, and then
yeah,
did anything, but then I think Roxanne was more of a fan of AJ.
yeah. So, both of them they pretty much work out, and you can definitely tell when you seen a couple weeks back where Roxanne Perez and CM Punk they were in the ring, you can and Julia was up, she was trying to hit Julia, CM Punk had to hold her like, no, just wait till you do your match.
Oh
You'll get her
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so that was actually pretty cool as well. So um yeah, NXT doing it with their pay-per-views, man. And then we got
Oh yeah.
and then they're finna be in the ECW arena thing again too. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
that's what that
nice.
whole. I think they said basically that's what that
And
whole
it's
NXT
2300.
three is turning 300 is about because that's the actual name of the building. Where
All right.
ECW to the place is
Hey,
2300.
continue on. Give me a minute. I gotta answer that call.
Oh, okay, go ahead, go ahead.
All right.
So anyway, we got Cedric Alexander and Jovan basically talked about what Jovan did and that was he wrong for slapping old boy. But he said, you know what? Sometimes you gotta do some stuff like that to get something to get attention and get what you want around here. You gotta do a little bit of bad to get something going, and they got a tag team championship match out of it. So he was saying, not to worry about it and just focus on the match itself and winning that match. Um, we did get Bubba. Then we got introduced to Bubba Ray Dudley for the first time, and Dave doing, talking about what has happened up to this point out in the crowd, and then we would get the third match of the night, which is Ridge Holland versus Chase U in an ambulance match, and that was a pretty good ambulance match. I really haven't cared for Ridge Holland since he was with Sheamus and them, and I really didn't care about him in NXT too much at some of his matches, but this match was pretty good. I can't lie. Ridge Holland was doing his thing and Chase was doing his thing. Um, but it was a good match. They brutalized each other. It lived up to the standard of the ambulance match, and it was brutal. It was hardcore. It was everything you would expect from an ambulance match. And I do like this new direction for Ridge Holland. He is going in the Ridge Holland is going in a good direction. Um, especially how this show ends, and we'll get to that too with the next appearance of Ridge Holland. But I like what they doing with him. But overall, the match was good. I think the finish came where Chase almost had the match won. He almost had the door closed, but Ridge Holland just his hand, his arm in his hand, was able to keep that door from closing. He would rake the eyes of Chase U, and he would get the advantage with Ridge Holland hit his finisher on the ramp, and then shoving Chase into the ambulance to win the match. Overall, decent match. Well, I should say more than decent. Overall, good match. Um, it was a great. It was a good ambulance match. It's a good ambulance match. And I liked it. Like I said, good ambulance match, even greater direction for Ridge Holland because I believe this is actually the rejuvenation that Ridge Holland needed because I feel like now Ridge Holland gonna have a better run on the main roster than he did his first time go around. But yeah, your winner on this Amalan match, Ridge Holland, and this wouldn't even be this won't be the last time you see Ridge Holland, or the last time I even talk about Ridge Holland. Let's see.
Oh, please don't talk. I'm back, but please don't. That match was ass. I mean,
Language, man, language.
sorry, you two. I'm for
You talking
real.
about Ridge? You talking about Ridge Holland versus Chase?
Yes, I cannot stand Rich Holland. I don't care if this all goes back to when he broke Big E neck. This all goes back to that. I don't
Hey, come
care.
on, man. It was an accident. It was an
A-
accident.
Accidents don't always happen when you're out there thinking you're stronger than Big E. But then again, I still don't like him. He doesn't have any aura. He still sucks. You can go to NXT. I mean, best thing was him for him to go back to NXT, but I don't see this man selling no merch, or anything. If he wants to go like and break people necks and try to do that belly to belly thing, because I almost thought he broke Chase U's neck or whatever. Well, Andre Chase, neck last night, but then again, I was like, nah. I was like, I think he's all right, but he didn't. But now, if it would have been Biggie, if they get in another match in a couple years, if he's still in WWE, and if when Biggie comes back, so, but yeah, I still don't like him. Chase U, he's just too corny for me. Can't stand him either. I mean, I like the
I,
gimmick and everything; it fits,
yeah,
but
I can't
it
connect
seems
with
like one of
Chase
those.
U.
It seems like one of those Vince McMahon things. Thea Hale, whoever else in there, Duke Hudson, he can do better. He reminds me of like a Drew McIntyre or something. When like before he had this, this Chase U thing going on. Before he joined that, he
Oh,
seemed
okay,
like,
okay.
yeah, he seemed like he was like a Drew McIntyre. So I kind of want him to go back to his old character, but they're trying to save him in NXT now, so he won't get lost in NXT. So they're keeping him like with the group. So it all works out.
Yeah.
But the match, like I said, the match was but the match was but
Man, to me, the match was fine. The match was fine. It was a
one
hardcore
one
ambulance
out of
match.
what okay, check this out. 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5. Tell me. I give
Man,
that I give that match a 1.
you know what? Between the two,
And what kind of
I could
what
connect.
kind of ambulance was that?
That was supposed to be an old school ambulance. I understand because
Nah,
the
man.
Halloween. It was the Halloween that was going for an old school. Uh, what you gonna call it? Ghostbusters vibe. That
Why would
I'm
you
like,
why would you put a gurney inside the car though?
I that I just ignored all that other stuff and just enjoyed the match because I could connect with Ridge Holland more than I could connect with Chase. Chase,
Did you make it to
I
did
can't
you make it
connect
to the
with his
black bag
character,
yet?
huh?
Did you make it to that black bag yet when you were talking about the match?
The black bag. No, I don't think I did. I think I might have missed that.
No.
I might not even mention it.
So WWE keeps getting me with this thing, man. 3 times they had a black bag. The first time you had Wendy
Oh, you
Chu
talking
dump
about with
out some
Trick
dog.
Williams?
No. Well, yes. Oh no, that was with Trick Williams. My fault. That was
Yeah,
with
that was
Trick.
with Trick
So wait.
Williams. That's why I was
Okay,
like,
let's
wait a minute,
wait.
black bag. You don't
So
like, wait a minute.
yeah.
Now, yeah, and now, yeah, I'm gonna get to that because that kind of ticked me
Oh,
off, but I'm gonna get to that. That we got a minute for that, but no, the match I could connect with Ridge over Chase because I don't know, it's just something about that whole Chase universe that never clicked with me.
he's
It's
a
not,
that's
it's
a
corny
Vince
to me.
character for you. That's a
Yeah,
Vince character
it's
for
just
you.
a corny thing. Like I don't need it on the main roster. Like I don't care if they come to the main roster, just do a whole different gimmick than the Chase U stuff. But anyway, but that's your match. Riz Holland is your winner of that match. let's see. We got Ava backstage. She was setting up some. She was being interviewed. She set up some matches. For Tuesday. I can't remember what she set up, but she said because they asked her about something that she said she couldn't talk about at the moment. But what she do know is that she's gonna have. She set up a match for Tuesday between two women, but I can't remember who they were. But she did set up some matches and stuff for
I'll
Tuesday.
I'll pull it.
I can't
Yeah, I'll
remember
pull it
because
up
I
real quick.
remember what she did at the end of the show, and that made me forget what she did here. Because she set up a match at the end of the show for Tuesday. I'm like, and I remember that, but then I'm like, dang it, now I can't remember what she did here. Not because I remember what she did once Booker T got scared and everything, and I'm like, dang it,
So
she now
so
it took my memory.
so one of the matches would be Jada Parker versus Lola
Yeah,
Vice
that's what it was. Jada
with
Parker and Lola Vice.
in
And
a hardcore match.
yeah, and I wanted to talk about it because she said it would be a special guest referee, and she bring it back Dawn Marie, who was an NXT, well not NXT, but ECW alumni. And I'm like, see, that's what I was talking about. They overusing the special guest referee because now I'm starting not to care about it. This is the fourth time, the third or fourth time now we got a special guest referee match between all three brands, and it's starting to tick me off because like you're using it too much. Is that's something that you bring out every so often. You don't use it this much and this many times in this many months.
At least it's not like with the guys though.
Yeah, it's not with the guys, but it's the overall fact that this is now the third or fourth time in its whole entirety. But then the last couple of months, we had a special guest referee match. So it's like it just I don't know, it ticks me off. It ticks me off that we getting it these this close to each other after we just did it and we just seen it. Now we getting another one, and then we got another one. I'm like, okay, this is where we need to stop reusing these type of matches like that. But hopefully it
But
don't.
but I think then again, I think it'll be different as far as the women because the like that little thing what they did with and I feel like what they did was when they did the little thing with Andre Chase and Rich Holland, I really feel like they wanted to make up for that because they definitely know backstage that nobody didn't like the match, nobody wasn't interested into the feud or anything like that. So I think with Parker and Vice, I think this right here, especially with women, because you rarely see women hard like women use weapons. I mean, you the most you ever seen was like Rhea Ripley use a chair or whatever and stuff like that, and maybe a kendo stick. But this is a hardcore match. This is probably like maybe one of the first time that these two women will be like, be in a hardcore match because I don't think any other women on NXT had a hardcore match. They had like an iron, they had like an Iron Woman match, which was, with Sasha Banks and Bailey. Remember that 1 hour yeah. So but they never did anything like this. So I hope they do steal the show tomorrow night on NXT. With
Oh
of
no,
course
and
down
like
there.
I said, I don't have a problem with Jada Parker and Lola Vice doing a hardcore match. It was just the fact that we're getting another special guest referee uh match. It's both a special guest referee match and a hardcore match. But I'm like, why couldn't it just been a hardcore match and not a special without a special guest referee? But that was just my
Yeah,
thing.
that's definitely true. I definitely get where you're coming from there.
But anywho, yeah, but that was the match that Abram made right here. And then we would get to the fourth match, which is the co-main event, which is Fatal Influence in its entirety versus Kalani Jordan in a gauntlet match for the women's NXT North American Championship. And it was a good co-main event. Um, I'm very impressed with Kalani Jordan. I like her style. I like her personality. Um, she's got a bright future within the company if she's booked right. But
Oh yeah, for
other
sure.
But other than that, the match was good. I think I can't remember what the girl's name was that first came out, but it was a girl that
Jasmine
was in the
Nix.
yep, Jasmine Nix with the all red with the Kratos scar on her either that was the Kratos scar or the Sub Zero scar. Either or on her face as she came out, and she had a pretty good bout with they gave her some good ample time in the ring with Kalani Jordan, and she actually got some good offense in, which made me see that she got a bright future as well with the NXT. But Kalani Jordan would get the victory over her, was would bring out JC Jane as the next opponent, and JC Jane would try to take a advantage of the fact that Kalani Jordan's a little bit winded, and they will have a good back and forth. And that back and forth was pretty good as well. Um, I think JC Jane tried a little bit some underhanded tactics, but in the end, Kalani would also get the victory over her. But whereas she hit her finisher on Jasmine to get the pinfall, this was just a roll up pinfall for JC Jane, and this brought out Fallon Henley, Henley, Fallon
Yeah,
Henley.
Fallon Henley.
Henley. Okay, yeah. This
Yeah.
would bring out Fallon, and she would basically give her another run for her money. And they were, like I said, too, this another good. She got a bright future, obviously because of how this match went. But the match was pretty good between them two, where you could obviously see they was angling for either JCJ or Fallon to be her true rival. And and especially how this match went, we could see who was that person in the end. Um, but she had the match won. She did have the match won. Kalani Jordan would have the match won. She hit her finisher. But then the distractions that came from JC Jane and Jasmine caused her to try to go back up for another because she realized she had lost some time. So she was trying to hit her finisher again just to make sure she sealed the fate. And Fallon would get her knees up, and then she would hit her move. Did she either hit her finish or did she just roll up Kalani Joy? I can't
No,
remember.
no, I know what she did. Don't get me started now. Don't get me started. She bots that knee strike, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
she
She that
bots
was
that.
she
She bots
bought
that knee strike. I was like, "Hey, yo!" I was like, "Definitely, you bots that knee strike." I was like, I was like that, and then Kalani, she had to fall back. There was a couple of botches throughout this show, by the way.
yeah,
That a
yeah,
lot.
there was definitely a couple of botches throughout the show. And especially how what I was gonna get to after I tell you who won, it was a botch there too. Um but yeah, so and she would get her knees up and like and like Chris said she botched the knee strike, but and she did get the knee. She sort of kind of and got the pinfall. Thus, we got a new North American champion and Fallon Henley. Uh,
but
and
but
then hold on,
as oh, go ahead.
and then she was getting ready to get on the mic and talk her trash, but the lights will go out again. This time, Delta or Zara for the people who are now knowing her and WWE as Zara, but Delta will come out this time again, but this time they're looking for it. Like the camera is like focused directly at an angle behind Fatal Influence, who's all in the ring, and they're looking at the entrance, waiting for her to come out at the ramp. But then they look at her, I'm like, where is she? Why is she not coming out? Blah blah blah. And finally the cameraman in the ring is in a different position, and you see that Delta is directly behind Fallon, and they trying to figure out where she at, and JC Jane would be the first person to realize she's standing behind
Botch.
them. Botch. She kind
She
of
bots the
and I
head,
get
but
it. She was so excited that she kind of went
yeah.
easy on the head, but it looked like she went for the headbutt, but she went easy on it. Like instead of just actually going for it, she went easy on it, and because of her excitement for being in the ring and this aura. But
Oh yeah, I think that was
she
a big
boxed.
reason behind it though.
Yeah, she was just excited But yeah, it was a botch headbutt, and JC still sold it. So good, kudos to JC for still selling that she got the headbutt, even though we see that she did not connect at all with the headbutt, but she still sold it. So you props there. But the next two strikes she did hit. I think she just clotheslined Jasmine, and then she hit the spear on Fallon to stand tall. And I'm like, and I forgot that she was from Australia. I'm just like, Jesus, I was with these women coming out of Australia. They're diesel as heck. Like when she flexed, she got veins about to pop out her dang arm. I'm like, they just
Yeah.
diesel women coming out of Australia. But then I'm like, then again, it is Australia. Australia is on Jumanji mode 24/7. So I
Yeah.
guess you gotta be diesel
I
coming out
mean,
of there.
you ever seen Rhea Ripley up close?
No, no, yeah.
She
I was there at
freaking
SummerSlam. She is big. Rhea Ripley is not a small
like even
person.
when
I
you,
mean, she's small in height, but she's not a small person. Like, when I mean small in height, she's like you would think she's like tall, but she's not taller. She's not as tall as Raquel or uh what's her name Jade Cargill. Jade
but then again,
she's about the same height as me, which is 5'7".
but then again,
I think she's
also
5'7".
also look at Buddy Matthews. He's from Australia, but I think he's a little bit. I think he's shorter than Rhea.
Is he?
I can. I'm not sure. Let me my phone. Let's
I
see.
could have sworn he was taller than Rhea.
Let's see.
I mean, I know he's not the tallest person. I do know that. I know he's not super tall, but I thought he was
But
taller than Rhea.
I know he's not like Aleister Black's height, but I know he's
No, but I
okay,
do know
okay,
that.
so he's 5'11".
Okay, so he's the same height as Jay Cargill. I was gonna say I thought he was about the same height as Jay.
And okay, so he is taller than Rhea. Rhea is 5'7", and he's
Yeah,
5'11".
Rhea. So
Okay.
Rhea's about me. Rhea's about me and your height,
Yeah.
while him he about the same height as like Charlotte and them. Like I know
But yeah,
Charlotte.
but
I know
look at
Charlotte
their
and
arm.
all them is taller than Rhea.
But look at Buddy Matthew arms, man. Like what the heck?
Like
You gotta see. Have you seen him at AEW?
yeah, of course.
What's
I see him in
what's
WWE
up,
and
Juggernaut?
AEW. What's
Justin?
up? What's up? But yeah, no, I seen them. That's why I say I know they coming out of Australia with Jumanji mode 24/7. So yeah, they gotta be on. They gotta be on swole mode. But anywho, Chris, tell me what you thought about this gauntlet match for the Women's North American Championship.
So that gauntlet match, I would have to say, it was actually pretty cool. You know, this was one of Kalani's first times, you know, being in this type of match. You know, she, you know, was a great, you know, North American champion. While we did have her as a NXT
The
Women North American
inaugural
champion.
North American Champion too, because this is only
Yeah,
Fallon's only the second person to hold
yeah,
that title.
yeah. So it's definitely there. You know, so another thing I thought about throughout this match here, I knew Fallon Henley once she botched that knee strike, she knew it was her time, and she knew she was gonna win the title. So she had to run and either connect with the knee strike or not connect with the knee strike. But when she planted that thing, and she was like literally tears of joy. So I mean, the right person won it, but I don't know as far as like with JC Jane though, because JC Jane has been in NXT for a long time. She's been in NXT for like 3, 4, maybe 5 years now, I think. Because she was there a little bit maybe before what's her name again? Um
Jasmine, you talking
no
about
no
the
no
other
no no
person,
no.
or you talking about Mandy Rose?
Yes. Yeah,
Mm.
because I remember when her, Gigi Dolan, and them, they were all in the Fatal Attraction group. But yeah, JC Jane, I don't know if she comes up to the main roster. I
No,
don't know when
Toxic
she's gonna come
Attraction.
up.
That was the name of it. Toxic
Toxic,
Attraction.
yes, right. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was Fatal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was actually a pretty cool match. I did see a tweet from Carmelo Hayes as I was scrolling through Twitter, where Kalani Jordan was, thanking everybody, and all that. And, he tweeted back, and he tweeted her back and told her, you did good out there. And, that those gauntlet matches are some hard matches. You got to be ready for them gauntlet matches, man. But the thing, I felt like
That
she
is
was
her
getting a look.
boyfriend, by the way. Don't let
Yeah,
nobody get no ideas. That's her boyfriend.
exactly. Yeah. He ain't gonna miss.
He
But
ain't gonna miss.
one thing I noticed that when she was her second match when she was fighting
That second,
God
that
dang it,
would be JC Jane. That
JC
because remember,
Jane, yes,
Jasmine was first, then it was JC Jane.
yes, because when she went for a backflip, I think she hit her head or hit her arm or something, but you just heard boom, and
Oh,
I
you
was like,
talking
what
about
was
when she
that?
did that corkscrew out the ring?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if she hit her head or arm or what.
that's what. Yeah, they was even trying to figure it out because they said it looked like she either hit her head or her arm when she did that corkscrew springboard out from in the ring out on JC Jane, and you could tell it looked like she either hit her arm. Yeah, it was either her arm or it was because it was happening so fast. It was either her arm or her face. I want to say it was her face,
I would say it was like
but
her
it,
four,
it,
like
it looked like and the only reason why I said I don't think it was her face was because when she landed, she kind of like grabbed towards her arm, but then she realized, oh wait a minute, I can't show that I'm hurt because I just did a move. So she had to sell that, since she just did a move
mm-hmm.
on JC Jane, so she kind of pushed it away. But it looked like it's most likely she hit her arm. I think her arm connected, and it was just so close to her face. I think I could tell, like I said, from that point and from the fact that when she hit, it looked like her arm pushed off of the apron onto, because of the connection to the apron. She kind of got like a push
Right.
off from it onto uh, JC Jane.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it was her arm that got hurt, that got hit. But luckily, it wasn't all the way connected. It was kind of like she kind of just bumped it because of her motion, but most of her body hit JC Jane though. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And it looked like
Right.
she was pretty much okay. It don't look like she was like too hurt from it. Her shoulder didn't look like it was dislocated or anything like that. So it looked like it was just like a mild bump. But that's what happens when you do moves
Right.
like that. Um, but yeah, like I said, the Delta, she would just take everybody out. She would botch the headbutt on JC Jane, but she would close out Jasmine and hit a devastating spear to stand tall. Um, I think she will be the next challenger for the NXT North American Women's Championship. Which, if she is, I don't think Fallon's gonna have a long run with that title. I think they're gonna let Delta have that long run. But I'm glad that Fallon did get a championship nonetheless.
I
Um,
wouldn't be surprised if Delta wins it because freaking Ethan Page won it out of nowhere, like his first week or two.
oh yeah,
I was like,
oh yeah.
well, dang.
But oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. I wouldn't be. But then again, like I said, it's coming sooner rather than later. But
Oh yeah.
uh I've this was good for Kalani Jordan. She was a great great inaugural women's NXT North American champion. I could see her getting either one more reign with it and then moving on to the main title because she's definitely like
Mm-hmm.
that underdog champion. They're gonna try to build up as the person to be the next NXT Women's Champion. If that happens, I believe that would be like on Roxanne's on the way out. She's gonna be on the way out to the main roster while like Kalani Jordan and Cora Jade take over for the main title pictures. I can see that happening.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
Then we got Tony D'Angelo backstage being interviewed. He basically was, celebrating with the guys and saying that he don't think it's over between Obafemi, but that he's basically celebrating and happy that he retained the title. Then this is what I was talking about earlier. We were before the starting the main event, Booker T and Ethan Page. There was a little, but I should say there was Bubba Ray Dudley and them. They went back to them again. But the main thing here was that he got into it with Ridge Holland because Ridge Holland came out of nowhere with a microphone and said, I told you that I was gonna win that match. And Bubba was like, that's twice now. And they was both looking. He was like, that's twice that you interrupted, and I let the first one slide, and then you come out here and you do it again. He said, "Don't let." He basically saying, "Don't let that be a third time." Basically telling them go ahead and leave, and don't let it be a third time. But that's because you did it on the pre-show. Now you're doing it here on the main PLE. So don't let it happen again. And him and Ridge Holland would have a stare down, and Ridge Holland would just back away, and then they would get back into, promoting the main event, and that's what they were saying over to Booker T and them, to where Booker T and them was showing how the main event is a false count anywhere, and the pinfall can happen anywhere. To which Booker T was over by a treasure chest, and it would just bust open. And I guess Tatum Paxley, who was just sitting in the treasure chest the whole time, looked like she couldn't breathe. And Ava just come out of nowhere was like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "I'm glad to see you that you're okay. We need to get you to a doctor." She was like, "No, no, I want a match because of what Wendy Chu did to me. I want a match." And she said that's even make it interesting, and that's where she spent the wheel and then landed on a casket match, which I'm like, okay, I'm down for it because that's a first. I don't think we ever had a female casket match. So and
Exactly.
Ava's allowed it. So this coming Tuesday, which is tomorrow, Ava has booked Tatum Paxton and Winnie Chu in a casket match. And like I said, I don't think we ever had that before for the women. So that should be interesting. But then we get to the main event, which is Ethan Page versus Trick Williams in a doubles playground match for the NXT Championship. And the doubles playground just basically a false cons anywhere match. It's a fancy way of saying a false cons anywhere. This was good. This was good. I mean, these two guys went back and forth. They hurt each other. I mean, they put each other through tables. That spot where they got when he put Ethan Page through the announcer table was cool. I
Hmm.
did like how they try to sell like internal bleeding, where because of what Ethan Page did to Trick Williams, he started bleeding from the mouth. And but it was like it took a little bit of minute where you could kind of tell he was chewing on a capsule and he had to try to bust that capsule to get so he could get the blood effect. And I was just like, ah, but I let it slide because I understood what he was doing. But at the same time, it took so much time for that blood to come out. You could tell because the time it took that, oh, that's what he's doing. He's over there trying to make his face look like, oh God, I'm hurt, but he's really trying to bust that capsule open so he can do the blood part. So I'm like, all right, I'll let it slide.
Yes, who gets them those capsules?
Sometimes they be holding it like Booker T and them. Cause I know sometimes that's what the whole point of them getting thrown over there by Booker T and them or the announcers, and the camera cuts away to show the other wrestlers, and so we don't see them handing them something. Cause like there was a spot with Roman where he got thrown over to the announcer table, and on TV the camera shot away, but somebody who was sitting right behind them recorded it, and you saw Corey give Roman something real quick. And that's when we get back to Roman, he's busted open. So that's how it goes. That's what they be doing that type of spot for it to say that so that they could either get the capsule from somebody off camera, and then once we see them on camera, all of a sudden they bleeding. But that's that whole point of those spots and the setups. But it was pretty cool. Like I said, other than that. But the only thing now is what Khris was talking about earlier. The pissing me off so
Exactly.
bad is the black bag. I'm like, okay. All right, we about to get some thumbtacks. That's usually what that's in that bag. It's either the thumbtacks or Jake the Snake's snake. It's like it's only two things that be in those bags: Jake the Snake Roberts snake or thumbtacks. And I'm like, okay, we about to get the thumbtacks. Eat the paste, flipped it over to pour out. Not thumbtacks. It wasn't candy corn. Thank God it wasn't candy corn, but it was just nuts and bolts. And I'm just like, I'm like, are we so squeamish that we can't even pay homage to? Did you know the many wrestlers, Chris Jericho, Edge, Mick Foley, who made it famous? All these people did thumbtacks, and we can't even get a thumbtack spot. That's not even that bad. Did you know
Exactly, man.
we have
Like, come
in
on,
my
man. Like, we.
wrestling? There has been the worst thing. There have been things worse than that. There were literally children in the audience when Sable or Jacqueline literally flashed the audience. Dawn Marie, speaking of which, she flashed the audience, and there's children in the audience. There's worse things that has happened on WWE than thumbtacks. We got a man who set a table on fire and speared that man, in this case, as in Mick Foley. He speared Mick Foley through a fiery burned table. And you mean to tell me thumbtacks is a little bit too far? And I'm like, come on, man. This is the third or fourth time you have teased me with the thumbtacks, and I don't get my thumbtacks. Yes, I am crazy. I want my blood. I want the thumbtacks. I want pain and suffering. That's the whole point of this type of match. Is you're gonna pull out the bag with the thumbtacks and not be thumbtacks. Why do that spot at all? Because it just looks silly. It looks stupid when it's not thumbtacks. Because we all know what's in that bag, and then when you do something different, we just like, so we supposed to act like this is gonna hurt. I mean, not saying it's not gonna hurt. Yes, it's gonna hurt. You get slammed on some nuts and bolts, that's gonna hurt. You step on some nuts and bolts, that's gonna hurt. But it wasn't even screws or nothing.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand if it was like
nothing. It was
now
like,
it would have been. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't pull out any Legos.
Right.
Now them things hurt.
Would have been worse. If you're gonna do something stupid like that, pull out some Legos, because that actually hurt. You have to step on some Legos. Yeah. Trust and believe. That hurts.
Sure, man.
That pain in your foot when you step on some Legos, that's like stepping on a thumbtacks. So if you're gonna do anything that's not thumbtacks, do Legos, because that actually sells the pain of like it's got thumbtacks.
Yeah, and I remember this is their third time doing this, man. Like within the past couple months. Yeah, I think from as far as I remember, it's been the third, because first you had Wendy Chu pull out some dolls out of a bag on NXT.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, wait, what? And then the second time, it was Drew McIntyre shaking out some beads out of the bag, and then
Drew
now
McIntyre, and I'm thinking it was about to be thumbtacks. It's just the beads. I'm like,
I was like, man,
y'all really made this man about a wrist about some. And now I'm calling it some stupid wristband. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, then now you do with some washers and bolts.
Right, some washers and bolts. Like, I'm like, you was doing. I'm
gonna have to have a talk with Shawn Michaels. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk with Shawn Michaels.
Doing fine. I was cool with the match. I was cool, but the match, other than that one spot, the match itself was fine. I enjoyed it. It was worthy in the main event. I liked how Ethan Page went for the low blow and was taunting Trick Williams, like, you should have finished me. You should have finished me. And then he was getting ready to go do his move, and then Trick with the low blow, and then Trick Williams will hit the Trick knee. And
there's Jimmy Uso. He need to change that song, man. I'm sorry, I'm not Raw Zone. Jimmy need to change that song though.
Then as Trick Williams would celebrate, he would get attacked by Ridge Holland. To which basically both Ridge Holland and Ethan Page would double team on Trick Williams, and then this will bring out Bubba Ray Dudley, who will help even the odds and send who is that? What's up, Jalen? Um, this was send Reg Holland and Ethan Page running with Trick Williams and uh Bubba Dudley standing tall. And I think Bubba might be returning for that NXT 2300 special too. So we'll see about that. But that was your main event. Hello guys. I didn't watch the show, but I still wanted to come and say something. Oh yeah, what's up, man? No problem, no problem. Thanks for joining us. Oh no,
Hey, I
thank
got
you, thank you.
I got a quick
Oh, thank
question
you. I
for you a
appreciate
little
it,
bit,
bro.
man.
Uh oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. 'Cause I was about to ask you what did you thought about the main event, but go ahead with your question.
Do you I'm sorry, Monday Night Raw is on right now. I'm looking at it on my phone real quick. But Jimmy Uso's on Raw. So do you ever think if they ever get back in the tag team, do
No,
you think they will do you
no.
think they'll be
First
called
of
like
all,
the
no, they
Yeet
don't need to be back
Souls?
at the tag team.
All right. Um
Oh god dang it. We was doing so you know what, say beer? I hate you. We was doing so good without you. Cause now you know she wasn't there. Thank God. Because she was there, this whole show would have got a big fat F. Like as in, I would have given it a 1 or a -1 out of 10 because no, she was not there. Jesus Christ. I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you. Anywho, uh, no. To answer your question though, Chris, no, they shouldn't get back together because they're done. Like I was telling you guys in the app, they done everything possible. Like it's the same thing with New Day. They done everything possible um to what you call it to in the tag team division. New Day as well. There's nothing for them to accomplish at this point. Um for the Usos and the New Day. All both parties, both teams are doing exactly what they should be doing, which is the next evolution in their careers is being singles competitors. At this point, now it's time for Jimmy and Jay, along with Kofi and Xavier, to be singles competitors and be a part of the singles title scene. There's nothing else they could do with the tag team titles, but hold the tag team titles from going to people who could actually be tag team champions, like Motor City Machine Guns, like somebody new. Let somebody new run the division now. And the reason why I said that because the only other thing they
yeah,
could have did was do what
yeah,
they
like
did
yeah,
was
like
break records. Both the Usos and the
yeah,
New Day broke records with their tag team runs. So at that point, that's all they could do. That's all they could do. As a tag team, I agree, but Jay still street trash, and I wish him well after Survivor Series. Savior, Shay is not here, but she would hate that you said that. But go ahead, Chris. Take a break for a minute and tell us what you thought about that main event. Whoa, we got somebody in the camera.
no, but no, but the match was pretty cool. I would have to say the least, and it was pretty cool to actually see Bully Ray. I mean, excuse me, Bubba Ray actually get back into the ring. So I feel like there's gonna be like a tag team match um at next week's NXT. Um,
Most
and I
likely.
feel like yeah, so it's gonna be some kind of stipulation with that tag team match. So I'm ready to see. I hope it's something at least like hardcore or something like that. Because I think we asked shouts out to Shane, or Punch, whatever you guys want to call him. I think we asked him one time about the Dudley Boys, and he said that Bully Ray. I mean, Bubba Ray is the only one that can. Bully Ray is his TNA name, but yeah, I'm still gonna
Yeah.
call him Bully Ray. So, anyways, Bully Ray is the only one that can go. He don't think Devon can actually go anymore.
Oh no,
So
Devon, and I agree too. I'm like, no, Devon can't go. Devon is definitely can't go anymore because he's way out of shape. But Bubba Ray, as I would call him, because that's what I know him as. I know him as Bubba Ray. Um, yeah, no, Bubba Ray is in more shape, and he looks like he is still in shape to go in the ring. Whereas Devon, yeah, no, Devon is severely out of shape and basically can't go. But no, yeah, that main event was good though. That main event was good. Um, Chris, what would you give the entirety of NXT Halloween Havoc?
so rating 1 out of 10, I would have to give it a I would have to give it at least that Ridge Holland match brought it down a point. I would have to give it an 8 out of 10.
I would give it an 8 out of 10 too. Only thing that I did besides the botches, um, that whole TLC match with Open Femi and Tony D'Angelo, um, kind of like pissed me off because I'm just like, if you're good, if you just wanted to do a hardcore match, just do a hardcore match. Don't say it's a TLC match and then but we're gonna change this one thing about the TLC match. No, it's either gonna be a TLC match where you gotta climb the ladder to get the title, or it's gonna be a hardcore match. You can't do a TLC match and have a pinfall victory. It just makes all you does is just make it a hardcore match. That's basically what the hardcore match is. The whole point of the TLC match is that yes, you could use tables, ladders, and chairs like in a hardcore match as weapons, but the ladder is the most important character because you got to use it to climb up and grab the title. When you just pin your opponent, that's just a hardcore match. So I ready for them to have done that. So that was the only thing that really like made me mad about the pay per view. So yeah, I gave it an 8. I would have gave it an 8.5 or maybe even a 9, but um, because of that, that really just that was like a weird booking choice. But other than that weird booking choice, the matches itself and the stories they told was fine. I just had that little gripe about why they did that with the TLC match. But yeah, that's it. I give it an 8, just like Chris gave it an 8. Um, that is all we got. We're about to go watch Monday Night Raw. It seems like there's some interesting stuff happening on there. Jimmy
Yeah, I'm
Uso.
actually I'm actually still with the Jimmy Uso thing, and I'm talking. Jay got some good mic skills, man. Well, they both got good mic skills.
Oh,
But
they
they're
have good mic skills. That was always there. But yeah, we're about to go catch and watch Monday Night Raw. Obviously, we'll be back tomorrow with the Monday Night Raw review. We might be on Thursday with a news video. We'll have to see about that. But other than Thursday, then we will definitely be back Saturday for the SmackDown review. Um, yeah, because no, wait a minute, will we? Is ain't
oh god
Crown
dang,
Jewel this
Tom
Saturday?
tongue. Oh no, that's Jacob Fatu. Wait, what? Yeah, Crown
Is
Jewel this
Crown Jewel?
Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
From
So
what I've
yeah,
heard, they're supposed to be doing a 3-on-3 man match. It's supposed to be Solo and the Tongas
yeah. I think
versus Jimmy J and
that's gonna
Roman.
be
Cause
that's gonna be set up in that pre.
Jacob can't go overseas,
Yeah, that's gonna
and we
be
know
set
why.
up. That's gonna be set up in that whole pre-tape SmackDown that we're gonna that I'm gonna watch. Because
Yeah.
most people, I don't think some of y'all are not gonna watch it because y'all already know the results. Um,
So is Monday Night
but
Raw recorded too?
no, just SmackDown because after Monday Night Raw they all got to get ready to go over to Saudi, so that SmackDown is the only one that's pre-recorded. But with that being said, now that we got through all that, just for you guys, and just in case you don't know, you get over to the Rest of the Pit
God
podcast
dang.
channel. Get over to the Rest of the Pit podcast channel and hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, do all those great things because this is what bringing you this video. With that being said, once you subscribe to the Wrestling Pit podcast, get over to that man's channel right there, Khris Wrestling Views. Subscribe to his channel because that man's almost to his 100,000 subscribers, and he need that to get there so he could get that beautiful silver plaque, so he can start working on the next one, which is the gold one. So yeah, get over to his channel, Khris Wrestling Reviews, and hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, do all those great things for him, so you get notified when he drop videos. And he does exactly what we're doing now, wrestling content. Then get over to my channel, as you can see, Little Bit Man Gaming, where I do not only wrestling content, but I do reactions to different movies and TV shows, video games, and I do reviews for such. And actually, I'm about to be once we get done here, I'm gonna take me a little break, but I'm about to set back up for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 gameplay. So be on the lookout for that. I'm about to get on the live with doing that. But first, I gotta go catch my Monday Night
Whoa,
Raw.
you got a game?
Yeah, oh yeah. I got the new Call of Duty.
Oh shit, I'll be watching.
But yeah, when I get and we're gonna catch some Monday Night Raw, then I'm gonna do that. But when I get done with that, when we get done with that Monday Night Raw, because it's only 2 hours. Since it's only 2 hours, I could jump on and do live afterwards.
Oh
but
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I will get on there and do that. But yeah. So subscribe to Jeff Wrestling 23. He couldn't be here, but subscribe to Jeff Wrestling 23. Go there and subscribe, hit that like, all that good stuff. Get over to Shay's channel, Know the Rules, and do the same thing. Hit the like, subscribe, share, hit the notification buttons. I think that is everybody. Oh, get over to Kicking It with Leo and subscribe to his channel, which is once again Kicking It with Leo. And yeah, we're gonna get out of here and oh, we need to talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna because that will also be a good podcast to do. Because I could talk about comic books all day, but yeah, we definitely gonna
Dang.
talk about it, Xavier, one day. We're gonna talk about doing that because that's awesome. That's an awesome concept to be talking about the comic books, especially when you can tie into the movies and TV shows that we got going on right now. But we're out of here. As we always do when we sign off, Wrestling Pit Podcast, baby. And we
Wrestling
gonna
Pit Podcast, baby.
yes, sir. Like I said,